Thank you, Alberto. Thank you for inviting me. And I will try to, in 10 minutes that I'm allowed, to present the role of notified body and how we can enhance compliance. I will start by saying that compliance should be in, or is in our DNA as notified bodies. And our role are really defined in the CPR. And that's where you can find everything. I think you are all familiar with the CPR. And one important part in the recital is recital 48, where I would say the scene is set. For us as notified body, we have a few articles in the CPR that are really the bones or the skeleton of our work. This is Article 43, and it specifies the requirements on notified bodies. And one important point is that it mainly, I would not say push, but give a possibility to member states to have requirement based on accreditation. And accreditation is now the main tool for member states to for notified bodies, and it's according to ISO 17065 as soon as certification is concerned, and 17025 for testing. Another important part of Article 43 is Article 43.11, which makes mandatory for notified body to participate to standardization works, because this is the base of what we will need to use later on, and also participate to the activities of what is called the coordination group of notified body for the construction product regulation. And we also have as mandatory to apply the general guidance that are set up by the group of notified body, and also decision and different documents issued by the group of notified body. Another part important for notified body, which shows how we are involved in the system, is Article 55. And that's where the Commission is concerned in regard of the functioning of the group of notified body. Also, Article 55 specifies the role of member states in regard of monitoring notified body, and I would say here basically monitoring the participation of their notified body to the work of the group of notified body. Our involvement on, I would say, on a daily basis, what we do every day. I think you are all familiar with the AVCP system developed in the actual CPR, and I have taken the opportunity of a leaflet issued by the Commission. And I think this drawing is really clear, and everyone, I think, have seen them. And we are involved, in fact, in different parts. Of course, the assessment of the performance, that's third line that you can see on the fourth line, sorry, that you can see on the screen. And when are we involved there? That's for a certification system, 1+N1, and for testing, which is system 3. We are also involved in initial inspection of factories for the 3 first AVCP system, also continuing inspection and surveillance of the factory production control, and also in for a limited number of products, and I would say as an example, cable being one of them, audit testing, which is taking samples from the manufacturing plants and testing them in our laboratories. There is also in the CPR then the way to set up the group of notified body, and it's under the responsibility of the Commission. I have just summarized here how it works. You have the head is the group of notified body. Under the group of notified body, we have 2 entities: technical secretariat and administrative secretariat. I think their name talks for itself. Technical secretariat for technical matter, administrative secretariat for administrative matter. Under this, there are a different number of sector groups, and they are dedicated to specific product or specific product families. usually related to mandates, I will say, for family of products. And we also have 2 horizontal groups, one for dangerous substances, which is not really active at the moment, and SHO2 for fire matters, which is a group that is really active. In regard of the GNB, we have an elected president. We have full members that are national representative of the member states. We also have associate members from relevant European organizations and observers, which are candidate member states, technical secretariat, and representatives from the Commission. Technical secretariat and administrative secretariat, they are contracted by the Commission, and renewal, if I'm not mistaken, every 3 or 4 years. And then we have the sector groups, and they work on similar way as the advisory group, with an elected chairman, full members, notified bodies with relevant interest, which means the ones that are working for that kind of product or fire, for example, for SHO2. And we also have the same way of associate members and observers, exactly the same thing as the advisory group. What are we doing inside the advisory group and the sector group? Our work is regulated by internal rules that have been set up inside the group of notified body and approved by the Commission. The rules are just dealing with memberships, way to work inside the GNB and the sector groups. Our objectives and tasks are the most important one, I would say, is to find a common interpretation of the requirement from the CPR and also for the technical specifications. We also have as an objective to have a common way of applying the requirements, and at the end of just to have this common interpretation, common way of applying the requirements, we issue position papers. And we also have now a guidance base that's 2 or 3 years ago, more than that, 4 years ago, I think it started. And the guidance base is like of a question and answer table, where for all the different type of products and rules applying for the group of notified body. And all of these documents have been agreed inside the group of notified body, and we have always to find a consensus. And to conclude, I will say that CE marking decision shall not be notified body dependent, and that's why we have all these documents, all these position papers, all these discussions inside the advisory group and the sector group, just to be sure that we manage to reach that goal. And with that, I will thank you for your attention. And Alberto, I think I give you back the floor.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yannick. Thanks a lot.